Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Diamond Collection of February 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle. And before we begin, I would like to thank Terry D for officially being the first person in the world to join the early access army through Buy Me a Coffee. How awesome is that? Your support means everything, and I can't thank you enough for believing in what I do. You are a legend. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom, a vibrant hyperactive 3D platformer that reimagines early 2000s collectathon gameplay with a modern twist. You play as a spring-powered yellow taxi, tasked with recovering green gears and navigating quirky levels while dodging the chaos caused by corrupted vehicles. This is not your typical platformer. There is no jump button. Instead, you master physics-based movement with creative techniques like dashes, flips, and bounces. Success depends on refining your skills, offering a rewarding learning curve that feels both nostalgic and fresh. Each level delivers something unique: obstacle courses, exploration zones, or crazy taxi-inspired missions where you deliver fares and collect clocks to extend your timer. Visually, the game blends retro-inspired 3D aesthetics with vibrant whimsical environments, reminiscent of Katamari Damacy. Its sound design is just as compelling, from energetic fanfares to an eclectic soundtrack that sets the mood for every chaotic turn. Despite its humor being hit or miss, the quirky characters and absurd scenarios add charm. Yellow Taxi Goes Vroom stands out for its polished mechanics, fun variety, and creative spirit. While some gears might seem madly out of reach, the game's sheer playfulness keeps you coming back. It's a complete package that does not just mimic its inspirations, it elevates them. If you're up for a fast-paced, skill-driven adventure, this is a ride worth taking. At number 2 we have Outpath, a cozy island-building adventure that mixes resource gathering, crafting, and exploration in a unique, minimalist 2D style. Think of it as a chill, monster-free take on survival games like Minecraft, where your goal is to expand your islands, unlock new tools, and build the world your way. At first, Outpath might throw you off with its hands-off approach. If you don't get the tutorial, you're left figuring things out on your own, which can be frustrating, especially when you keep dying from hunger or exhaustion without knowing why. But once you get past that hurdle, or restart after an update, the game opens up into a much smoother experience. The core gameplay loop revolves around breaking objects, collecting materials, and using them to research and build. Unlike Minecraft, where mining depletes the land, resources in Outpath constantly regenerate, giving you endless things to do. Expanding your islands requires hitting block-breaking milestones, so there's always a goal to work toward. Controls can feel a bit off at first, but they are customizable, and you can even switch from rapid clicking to holding down for easier harvesting. The inventory system could be clearer, but it is manageable once you get used to it. Visually, Outpath has a charming art style, a blend of papercraft and pixel aesthetics. The animals, especially the cows, are adorable, though you might feel bad for killing them. If you want a laid-back crafting game with no stress, Outpath is a great pick. At number 3 we have Lisa Complete Edition. In Lisa Complete Edition, you're thrust into a captivating yet tormenting RPG experience that delves deep into themes of abuse and survival. From the outset, it's clear that Lisa isn't your typical game. It's intentionally grueling, pushing you to the brink with its unforgiving choices and relentless challenges. Set in the aftermath of a cataclysmic event known as The Flash, where all women vanish from the world, you navigate the desolate wasteland of Olath alongside Brad Armstrong, haunted by the guilt of his sister's tragic fate. The game's narrative intricately weaves together themes of trauma, addiction, and redemption, immersing you in a world teetering on the edge of oblivion. Gameplay in Lisa combines turn-based combat with exploration puzzles, offering a blend of strategy and traversal that keeps you engaged throughout. Your party members are both your lifeline and your vulnerability, as their fates hang precariously on your decisions. Whether it's sacrificing items, limbs, or even friends, every choice carries weight and consequences that shape the story. The addition of Painless Mode makes the experience more accessible, allowing players to tailor the difficulty to their preference without sacrificing the game's essence. While the joyful expansion adds depth to the narrative, it falls slightly short in tying into the overarching themes of abuse and cycles, though it still offers engaging gameplay and moments of dark humor. Lisa Complete Edition is a masterful blend of story and gameplay, offering a gripping adventure that will linger with you long after the credits roll. With new features and content enhancing the experience, it's easier than ever to immerse yourself in this touching tale of survival and sacrifice. At number 4 we have Winion Virus, a pixel art horror visual novel that lures you in with a charming aesthetic before twisting into something far darker. You play as someone secretly raising Winions, digital creatures classified as living beings in this eerie fairy tale world. What starts as a simple pet-raising simulation slowly descends into a disturbing nightmare. At first, you'll grow attached to the 5 unique Winions, each of their own personalities and quirks. You interact with them through a simulated operating system, managing their environment and responding to messages. But as the days pass, things start going wrong. Glitches appear, the Winions behave strangely, and an overwhelming sense of dread creeps in. The game expertly blurs the line between cute and terrifying, making you feel responsible yet powerless as the horror unfolds. Despite its pixel art charm, Winion Virus does not pull punches with the psychological horror. It plays with your emotions, making you care about the creatures before revealing the unsettling truth behind them. The slow-burning narrative is gripping, but be warned, this is more of an interactive novel than a traditional game. Expect to read and observe more than actively play. Some action-heavy segments feel out of place, and the translation can be rough at times. But the emotional impact and unique presentation make it a hauntingly memorable experience. If you enjoy psychological horror that toys with your expectations, Winion Virus is a must-play that will stick with you long after the credits roll. At number 5 we have Necro Story, a lighthearted RPG that combines spellcasting with creature-catching mechanics. Instead of training cute monsters, you'll command an undead army, playing as a reanimated necromancer guided by Vivi, a ghostly companion. The story leans into humor, with plenty of fourth-wall breaks and slapstick banter. While the dialogue is not always compelling, it suits the cartoonish aesthetic and keeps things entertaining. Your journey takes you through diverse locations, from snow-covered mountains to ancient Egyptian deserts and even Valhalla itself. Exploration is engaging, with environmental puzzles and treasure chests rewarding your curiosity. Combat blends action-based spellcasting with passive party management. You can specialize in 5 different magic types, from summoning demons to poisoning enemies. Defeating foes allows you to capture their souls, adding them to your party in a Pokemon-inspired twist. However, since your party members level up automatically, the system lacks depth. Despite this, the skill tree is a highlight, offering exciting build customization. Whether stacking poison effects, summoning a horde of minions, or focusing on pure destruction, your playstyle feels unique. Battles can get repetitive, and some areas drag on too long, but the variety of enemy types helps maintain interest. The ending is divisive, clever in concept, but frustrating in execution. Even so, Necro Story is a fun, charming RPG-like experience. It may not be the deepest game in its genre, but if you enjoy lighthearted fantasy with a mix of humor and magic, it is worth checking out. At number 6 we have Frogun Encore, a charming sequel to the original Frogun, blending retro aesthetics with inventive gameplay. This multiplayer platformer centers around a quirky frog-shaped gun that acts as your grappling tool, letting you pull enemies or swing to new heights. You'll find the platforming crisp and engaging, though it leans challenging for those new to the genre. Fortunately, quick respawns soften the difficulty, and co-op introduces a handy bubble mechanic to save you from falls, though its sluggish pace might test your patience. The game pays homage to classics like Spyro and Banjo-Kazooie, with its coin-collecting systems and whimsical character sounds, while embracing its own identity through its voxel-inspired polygonal art style. Frogun Encore's levels are thoughtfully designed, brimming with coins, collectibles, and secrets that encourage exploration without overwhelming you. Navigation feels intuitive, and mechanics like aiming the frog gun add depth as you progress. The new co-op mode elevates the experience, letting you share the fun with a friend. That said, minor gripes exist, like not being able to choose unlocked hats freely, but they hardly detract from the overall enjoyment. While the soundtrack may not be to everyone's taste, the game excels in movement, charm, and nostalgia without relying too heavily on it. Frogun Encore is a delightful journey that stands out in the platforming genre. Whether solo or co-op, you'll find plenty to love in this froggy adventure. At number 7 we have POSTAL, Brain Damaged, a semi-retro style first-person shooter game. The plot is quite simple. The postal dude has brain damaged and you fight the disturbing things that are in his mind. This game harks back to classic FPS games like Doom and Quake, but instead of going full-on pixelated graphics, it goes for the more early PlayStation 2 graphics. This game features 3 episodes with 5 levels per episode, and each level has been designed meticulously with plenty of secrets to find and a ton of enemies to kill. You'll have access to 10 weapons that are all very unique to this game, like a gun that shoots urine, a shotgun that can also act as a grappling gun, or even a shovel that is also a chainsaw, among others. Most importantly, they're all really meaty and very fun to use to turn your enemies into a pile of red jello. Enemies in this game are varied too, and a lot of them either pay tribute to old Doom games with a funny spin, or even meme characters from our world like Karens. In fact, there's a Karen that serves as a boss fight. Gunplay is really fast and it can get quite challenging, especially on higher difficulties. So if you like a retro fast-paced shooter, then this is a game for you. At number 8 we have Massacre at the Mirage, a psychological horror game that throws you into an eerie Halloween night, where a mysterious clown lurks in the shadows. You control multiple characters performing mundane tasks, serving popcorn at a movie theater, hosting a radio show, all while something sinister creeps closer. The tension builds as an ice cream truck passes by, signaling that things are about to go horribly wrong. The game masterfully blends everyday activities with an ever-present sense of dread. Jump scares are perfectly timed, making even small movements feel terrifying. The normality of the setting, brightly lit theaters, cozy break rooms, contrasts sharply with the horrors unfolding, making each scare hit even harder. You never know when something will change, when the clown will appear, or when silence will be shattered by a sudden, terrifying moment. While the horror is effective, the story follows a predictable slasher movie formula. You'll likely guess what's coming, but the execution is strong enough to keep you engaged. The game's lighting is another issue. Some areas are unnecessarily dark, making navigation frustrating. A few more objective indicators or visual cues would go a long way. Additionally, the voice acting is inconsistent, with some performances adding immersion, while others feel flat. If you enjoy horror that thrives on tension rather than cheap tricks, Massacre at the Mirage delivers. Despite its flaws, this is one spine-chilling experience you will not forget. At number 9 we have Rising Front, an ambitious World War I and Revolutionary War FPS battle simulator that blends first-person combat with real-time strategy and large-scale warfare. Featuring massive battles with over 1,000 units, an intelligent AI system, and a real-time building mechanic, this game aims to deliver an authentic and chaotic battlefield experience. The sheer scale of combat is one of Rising Front's most impressive features. Waves of infantry charge across trenches as artillery shells explode around you, creating a dynamic and immersive warzone. A procedural cover system adapts to the battlefield, giving you tactical options, while AI commanding allows for strategic depth. Add in ragdoll physics, workshop mod support, and a solid arsenal of period-accurate weapons, and you have a war simulator with serious potential. That said, Rising Front is still in early access, meaning it is far from perfect. Bugs and polish issues exist, and while the game promises intelligent AI, some scenarios rely on pre-scripted enemy movement rather than reactive behavior. The lack of unit variety, planes, and tanks limits historical accuracy, but future updates could address these concerns. Performance is surprisingly stable, even with massive battles, though lower-end PCs might struggle. Despite its rough edges, Rising Front stands out as a unique and ambitious war simulator. If you enjoy large-scale battles and sandbox-style warfare, this is worth considering. Just be prepared for an evolving experience as development continues. At number 10 we have Few Nights More, a roguelike turn-based RPG where you take on the role of a vampire lord, reclaiming lost territories. You'll build and defend your stronghold, set traps, and slowly expand your domain against relentless human invaders. The game combines strategic castle management with deep turn-based combat. You can choose from 7 unique vampire lords, each with their own history, abilities, and playstyle. Combat is tactical, with each decision shaping your survival. You'll master one of 3 disciplines per run, unlocking up to 60 skills to customize your approach. Every night brings tougher enemies, including skilled hunters and powerful bosses, making each battle a test of strategy and endurance. Beyond combat, Few Nights More excels in progression. You earn heritage points after each run, letting you unlock new skills, upgrades, and even entire castles. The game also features an infinity mode, pushing your survival skills to the limit with escalating challenges. Visually, the game leans into a dark, gothic aesthetic, complementing the atmospheric soundtrack. While the art direction might not be the most striking, the gameplay depth more than makes up for it. The strategic layer of castle defense, placing traps, assigning minions, and optimizing room layouts adds satisfying complexity. If you enjoy turn-based strategy with a roguelike twist, Few Nights More offers a compelling mix of challenge, progression, and dark fantasy world building. It is a game that rewards experimentation and strategic thinking, making each run feel fresh and rewarding. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle has a mixed reception, but there are still some highlights worth noting. Yellow Taxi is getting some love, and Postal Brain Damage has its own dedicated fans. While the pricing is higher than past deals, those interested in specific games might find value here. If you're eager to dive in right away, it could be worth it, but for those on the fence, waiting for a Steam sale might be the better option. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider unlocking early access to videos by buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.